Okay, to learn compound interest, we use the formula. We're going to find the future value as the FV, which is equal to the present value of our investment. And the equation is 1 plus R over M to the MT. The R is the rate. We always put it like in a decimal form. The M is how many times a year it's going to be compounded. And the T is for how long. The M is always a hard one. It's for how many times a year. And the T is how many years. So all we really have to do is plug information into our formula. It says you've decided to save $1,000 for 5 years compounded semi-annually at 12% interest rate. How much would be in your savings after 5 years? Well, I'm looking for the future value of $1,000. It's my present. 1 plus the rate, 0.12, has to be in decimal. Over how many times a year is compounded? It's semi-annually, so that's how many times a year? Twice. Okay, if it was monthly, it would be 12, daily, 365, annually, 1, okay? To the MT, so I'm going to take 2 times for 5 years. So if I just come back and put this in a little bit different format, 1,000, that'd be 1.06 to the 10th, okay? Now, using our formula, okay, I'm going to change my calculator, you can see it here, to scientific, okay? I need to move it up just a little bit so you can see it as I punch it in. You always have to do what's order of operations, tells you have to do what's in parentheses first. So I'm going to do 1.06, I'm going to do to the XY, and when I do that, I'm going to put in my 10, hit equals, and say times 1,000. And in 5 years, my interest would be built up. I'm going to move my calculator a little bit so you can see. It would be built up to $1,790.88. So you just punch your numbers in your formula, put it in your calculator, and you're ready to go. Let's do this again. I'll clear this. Maybe I will. Okay. All right. Morgan is going to put $500 in a savings account. Her money will be compounded quarterly, 4 times a year, at 8% interest. How much will she have in 10 years? The future value is what I'm looking for. Her present value is 500. 1 plus the rate, which is 0.08, over 4 because it's compounded 4 times a year. Okay, so 4, and it's for 10 years to the 40th. So I'm just going to condense it down a little bit. 1.02 to the 40th. I'm going to come to my calculator. Remember, we do what's in parentheses first. 1.02 to the XY for our exponent of 40 equals times 500. And in 10 years, she should have 1,104.02. Anybody have questions? Okay, let me do a couple more with you, just so you get the idea. Taylor is going to put 50 in her savings. His money will be compounded monthly at 6%. How much will he have after 5 years? Future value is equal to, he put 50 in for present value, 1 plus the rate, 0.06. It's compounded monthly, which is 12. And we got to take 12 times 5 for how many years? So we're going to take, just to make sure here, let's take 0.06 divided by 12. And we get 1.005 to the 60th. Okay, I'm going to clear that off. So I'm going to take 1.005 to my exponent of 60. I'm going to put equals, and I'm going to take it times $50, and I'm going to get $67.44. And last but not least, Billy is going to put $500 in a savings. This money will be compounded. Make sure you see that semi-annually at 5.5% interest for 7 years. Future value is equal to the 500, 1 plus the rate, which is 0.055, over 2 times the 7 for your time. 1 point, oh, I'm just going to double check this. Let's put 1, let's clear that, put 0.055 divided by 2 is equal to 1.0275 to the 14th. Cleared out, we'll put 1.0275 to the exponent of 14 equals times 500, and you will get $730.99. If you want to get crazy, just say 731. Okay, that should help you when you get ready to do your next assignment on compound interest.